global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Still on the affair of 1 year rule of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, and lots of Nigerians are screaming and shouting. Top of the list that are literally bringing out to the fore and exposing the lapses and excesses of this government is northern elites, and they're not mincing words. In fact, they are speaking the minds of Nigeria, and they're literally speaking in encrypted messages and coded terms. I guess the government of the day needs to look into this very quickly. But before we go into the news proper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. Use the bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Now, of course, we will go in no particular order. A lot of the northern elites are speaking very strongly. Now, one of this top of the list is actually Mahit Shehu. He's a well-known human rights activist and a political commentator. And this is what he has to say. He said 29th of May represents sadness and melancholy for most Nigerians. As Shehu reflected on the struggles faced by many Nigerians on May 29th, he said many Nigerians will remember May 29th as that day when they lost all they have, when they became poorer by force, when they could neither feed nor pay rent, nor travel with ease, unable to buy drugs, and so on and so forth, all on the account of man's inhumanity to man. A day is coming, Shehu wrote. And the Shehu statement highlighted the widespread challenges experienced by Nigerians during the President Tinubu's first year in office. Now, he pointed out issues such as poverty, lack of access to basic necessities, and the overall living condition of the citizens of Nigeria, of course. Now, the activist statement underlines growing opinions of disappointment among Nigerians towards the current administration's handling of governance and socio-economic issues. Now, many argue that President Tinubu's policies have failed to address the root causes of poverty and inequality, worsening the sufferings of ordinary Nigerians. Of course, in another news, still on the same matter, Babacha Lawal is not sparing the Tinubu-led government as the former secretary to as the former secretary to the government of the federation made a bold statement regarding Tinubu's 1 year in office and the manner in which he got into power. In an interview, he categorically denied that Bola Tinubu won the election. Instead of alleging that he rigged it, Lawal emphasized that he will repeat this claim until his death, even if it means facing severe consequences. Lawal suggested that he believes that Tinubu is aware of his own wrongdoing, comparing it to a situation where someone steals something and knows they are guilty, even if others are unaware. He expressed his disagreement with the outcome of the election, stating that while Tinubu may be in government, the means by which he got there are highly questionable. Now, according to him, if you're talking to me about the election, don't ever use the word won. He didn't win it. He rigged it. I will repeat it until I die, and with the knife on my neck, I say he didn't win it. He knows he didn't win it. I used to say this: if there's something in this room and if there's something in this room and we go out and find that it's missing, the man who stole it knows he's the one who stole it. He might not know, or we might not know, rather, we might not know. We will be accusing each other, so they know what they did. I mean, they are humans. They know what they did and how they did it. The only charitable thing I can say is that they are in government, but as to how they got there, we will never agree. Wow. Nigerians are talking very strongly. The elections have come and gone. We are still talking about the past election. Governance have begun in earnest. Nigerians are really crying. Cost of living is super duper high. Things that are common those days, they'll tell you, Gary na come up na poor man food, who says Gary no be poor man food. Anybody gives you Gary and soup now, man, is a big boy. You're talking about Gary and soup. What about beans? And they made the mistake of cooking stew for using fresh tomato. Kai, please. Is it cow? Cow is millions now. What are we saying? Those things that we call basic amenities, they're no longer basic, they're luxury now. Those things we say that normal things you take a ride down there. I do not know what the government is thinking, removing subsidy from the things that needs to be subsidized, and they're putting subsidies to things that literally, if you ask me, shouldn't have been subsidized in an economy where we are doing scale of preference. I will take that again. Subsidizing Hajj pilgrimage over 90 billion naira, and removing subsidy from fuel that affect every Nigerian positively. These are the common gains the common Nigerians enjoy from governance. Where no matter how, even if your brother or your sister is not in office, literally is not in office, at least one thing you are sure you're enjoying is subsidy of fuel. Now nothing is subsidized. It's not subsidized. Drugs. Like, don't pray to fall sick in Nigeria. Oh. The please, in all that getting, get good health. But the question is, how do you even get this good health? Because even cost of living, buying food stuff is now costly. So how do you even live this good life? A lot of things are just so not right. And I feel that if there's any way the government they can look into price control board, they've got a lot in his hands. And already 1 year they keep telling us be patient. Why can't we reduce the cost of governance? Why can't we reduce the number of aides? Why can't we reduce the number of House of Rep members, legislatures generally? Why are we having them so much? How is the allowances and salary still the same when Nigerians are meant to understand and bear the pain just a little while, and there's lights in the tunnel? And how come our politicians don't seem to understand the sacrifices, and they just want the common man to understand that? Why are we doing this to ourselves? And now all of this, I could still remember the former president of Nigeria, Dr. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, said, "Look, propaganda cannot strive, and the foreign investors we are begging cap in hand to come in needs to see workings." What I mean is the governance, the foreign investors needs to see that there's confidence in governance. There should be confidence in the policies. But it looks like the policies are not really people oriented. It's more of government oriented, where you're thinking of taxation. You're taxing already people who are already overtaxed. They don't even have enough money, and you're overtaxing them. Where do you want them to get the monies from? And now you're talking about the issue of some these Labour guys, NLC is shouting and screaming that even 100,000 minimum wage is too small. Oh, I understand that 100,000 you're talking about just a fraction of people who are even employed in civil service. What about those who are artisans? Where will they get their own minimum wage? Who's going to pay them? And they're all going to the same market. Look, we need to face the harsh reality on ground. Uh, let's leave these guys who are always inside the office. You need to begin to send your men into the street to feel the pulse of Nigerians. I mean, real time. I'm not referring to online statistics saying. Go real time in the streets and feel the pulse of Nigerians. Nigerians are not smiling. They are hungry. They are very hungry. This is not what they bargained for. And the government needs to begin to feel real pulse, not propaganda pulse. Let's go wrap it up. We could go on and on this. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take? Have a nice time.
Global happenings today. We communicate.